Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of I Am Essence, where we share tips and feature incredible guests who help us transform and align with our best selves. Today we have Brittany Childress. She is a manifestation and social media coach. She loves helping fellow female healers stand out on the online presence so that they can attract their soulmate clients. Through her work, Brittany helps with strategy, mindset, and manifestation so you can truly step into your fullest expression and live a life full of ease, grace, and flow. Let's give Brittany a welcome on today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us today, Brittany, here on I Am Essence. I'm so excited to dive in a little bit more about yourself, your journey, and yeah, it's been so beautiful to watch you flourish and see your whole career path just unfold.
Yeah, it's been so it's crazy to think, like we connected just through Instagram and messaging each
Exactly.
other and how, the last few years have kind of evolved for both of
Mm-hmm.
us.
Absolutely. Because I remember, I guess this is going back like a year and a half ago. You held a manifestation, new moon ritual. And I think there was only about like five of us. And it was incredible. And I always go back to, it just stood out to me that whole ritual, the manifestation, everything that you pretty much took us through. And it was so powerful because since that point, moving forward, things have just been unfolding, and it's something that has stood out to me over the last like year and a half.
Oh my goodness, I totally forgot about that. That was my first one, and
Yeah.
since then I've held
Oh my
in-person
God.
ones and your wasn't your manifestation to start a podcast?
It was.
I remember
Oh
that.
my God. Yes.
Wow.
Oh my
So this is
God.
just
This is so,
all part of the journey. Like here we are now. That's
this is
crazy.
crazy. I completely forgot about that. It's funny because during the gathering that you had, or actually, can you, before I jump into the whole story, can you touch
Yeah.
upon what the gathering was, what the story behind it was, and I guess how that has changed a little bit from the first gathering to what they've evolved into?
Yeah, so a big part of my spiritual journey was I started going to moon gatherings, and I also would just have solo gatherings, or
Hmm.
not gatherings. I would have solo moon rituals by
Yeah.
myself, like in my backyard, whether that was with moon water, journaling. Sometimes I would bring my sister or my boyfriend's sisters in, and we would do it together. We'd do tarot
Yeah.
readings. And it's just always been something that I've really aligned with, paying attention to the astrology and where the moon's at. So it always has been on my heart wanting to hold these gatherings. And then in, I think it was 2021, early
Hmm.
2021,
I think it was
I made a
March or
friend.
February
Yeah,
when.
I think it was February. And I made a friend online, Jessie, and she was like, "You need to do them." And she helped me put it together. And so that was the first virtual one that we held that you came to.
Hmm.
And that was so powerful. And since then, we had a couple more virtually. Then I I had moved, I started looking for in-person places in Texas, and I made some connections, but then I was also in the middle of possibly moving back to California.
Hmm.
So it was just I was kind of like an in between. I moved back to California. I had a manifestation workshop in person in California with all my friends. And then the next month I did it at a yoga studio, and we sold it out. I think there was 15
Oh my.
people, and we just kept holding them. And yeah, it's been, I think for me, the greatest part of it is to see people from all walks of life be into it. And I was holding them on Friday nights, which some people want to go out on a Friday night. So I wasn't
Yep.
sure what the turnout was going to look like, and to see everyone continue to show up, ask when the next one's going to
Mhm.
be, was just incredible. And I kind of took a break from it,
Mhm.
but we I'm holding a new one this month. So
Very
yeah.
nice. Oh my gosh, I love that. It's amazing to see how everything has unfolded. But going back to the first event that I attended, where it's so funny you brought up about the podcast, because that's something that completely slipped my mind. But after the gathering, one of the intentions was to start the podcast so that was February. About a month or two later, I was looking for interns for Sono, and I ended up filling 2 positions for social media, but a male ended up putting an application in for the social media internship, and he had all of this podcasting experience. And I'm like, wait, the position's filled, but I think I'm still going to reach out to him to see if he is interested in starting a whole podcast. And a year and a half later, he has joined our team and he does all of the editing, and he is unbelievable. So I'm so thankful for you for hosting the whole gathering.
I love hearing that.
It's been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I think that's like the most fun is when people like come back to me and they're like, "Oh my God, I was like manifesting this at the time and now I have it."
Yeah.
And sometimes like we even forget, like you said, like you were like, "Oh my God, I forgot that I had even said that at the gathering." And it's all part of the process. It is so fun. And so I've actually recently, what I'm doing now is I'm kind of combining my social media and the moon gatherings, and I'm going to do like a virtual thing where like twice a month we're going to do trainings around the moon. So it's all going to align.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's all going to align to astrology and just like about stepping into your authentic self and really sharing that in the online space so that you can start to build your community.
It's true. And we have to, especially now in the age of Aquarius, we need to just be our authentic self and just stop hiding behind a picture, a video, a mask, and just be who we are. Like, I'm showing up today in a sweatshirt, don't have any makeup on. I'm like, you know what? It's not about what I look like. It's about the conversation and us connecting and being able to share such powerful information with the audience.
Yeah, and I think we all have a story, and people are dying to just see authenticity and like connect to the real you. Exactly. And once you start to kind of put that out there, you'll be surprised, I bet, by the response you get.
It's so true. So have you always been so passionate about helping others?
I think in different ways, but it really evolved when I was able to kind of help myself. You know, growing up, I was always just like kind of shy, reserved in front of, you know, new people or groups of people. With my family, I was always like loud, wanted to be in front of the camera, wanted to be taking photos of me. But I had a hard time showing that part of myself in school or in athletics. You know, that was always kind of really reserved. So in the last 4 years, I've really challenged myself and put myself out there and showed more parts of myself that I've kind of kept hidden for so long. And it's been so empowering, and it's just become this mission of mine to help other women get to that place where they can be like, this is who I am. Like, I don't want to hide anymore. I want to like open up my throat chakra and speak my truth, you know, and show my art in whatever form that is. And yeah, like first, like if you would have told me I'd be in this place 7 years ago, like I would laugh, you know, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I had no idea the path I wanted to go down, and to now be so confident in like where I'm at and knowing that I'm here to help women stand in their power is just, it feels so good. And it's never, and you know, they always say it's like, you know, you're meant to do it when it's like not about the money. And it's so true.
Yep. I was just given a piece of advice about a week and a half ago by someone. I really hope I don't fumble this up, but they said that your purpose in life is something that you really don't have to think twice about when you're doing it in a way that you could just do it for free. So if you love to teach, you don't want that money in return. You just do it out of the kindness and generosity of your own heart. So if you could do something for free, then that's your purpose.
Yeah, yes. And that's like definitely something I take my clients through a lot is like make a list of what you love doing. What are your gifts? What do people tell you you're great at? What do people come to you naturally for?
Exactly.
And then kind of mix those two together and like what would people pay you for, you know?
Yep, exactly. And then another thing the same person told me was that when you are a child, what was your favorite thing to do? What did you like to do as a kid, like play wise? So for me, I loved teaching. Like I used to love playing school, and I used to make my mom and my sister be the student. So if someone does have a hard time trying to find their career, my very close family friend suggested that go back to your inner child. What did you like to do as a kid? What was your favorite thing to do, to play, or even just to what were you doing when you were alone?
You want to know mine?
Yes.
It was filming videos like of myself, like music videos. And I'd go back and edit them and add the music. And I was very into this. Like I took it very seriously.
And look where you are now. Isn't that
I know, I'm
great?
like, Reels was made for me. I'm just kidding.
Yes. But isn't it crazy how we go through life, we're broken down by all of these experiences, different people that we meet, and somehow we end up right back to where we were as a child, just an older version of us.
Exactly. It's so funny.
It's
so funny.
Crazy. So what has the journey been for you? What are some of the biggest things that have unfolded for you as you've gone from point A to point B where you are now?
Yeah. So I think it started in the beginning when I was like, I don't know what I want to do with my life, and I feel like I'm supposed to have that figured out. I think that was around, maybe that I was like 25 at the time, and having a little existential crisis.
We've all been there.
Yeah, and I really just turned to spiritual tools at the time. I started like just synchronistically like finding podcasts or and just started finding like this online community and different tools, whether that was astrology, Reiki, yoga. And I just really like tuned in to all that and kind of cut out the noise. And while I was going through that, people fell out of my life. I actually kind of became just like a really like loner. I think that's what I needed at the time, just to heal. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just like, I don't vibe with anyone. I just need my Kundalini yoga, and this is it, right?
You are preaching, girl. Join the club.
So I was, and I think when you start to get in that space, for me, it was a little bit of like, I'm better than you. Like, you guys don't understand, And then as the years go on, you start to integrate and like come back into the real world, and then actually show up in your community and with your friends and family in a more healed version of like, okay, I understand where you're coming from, and maybe I don't know everything. But it definitely has been a journey, and it started with the tools and learning about spirituality, which really was just learning about myself. And, along the way, I've just tried different things on like entrepreneurship, like what do I like doing? I've tried social media management, I've done virtual assistant work. All along the way, I've been doing coaching and just building my coaching business. And it's just like every new avenue that I've been down is like a lesson, and like learning to embrace more parts of myself and show more parts of myself and gain my confidence. It's just like, it's just been such a journey that I'm like, where do I even start and end? But, when I look back to 2 years ago when I was trying, I'm like, oh yeah, that couldn't work then because I wasn't at the place. I didn't have the confidence to actually show up fully and support my clients. So it's like all of it is for a reason, and it's all been building up to this point.
Exactly.
And like when I'm ready, like it'll come,
it's all in divine timing, and it's hard sometimes to trust because you just want that thing so bad, or you want to get to the top immediately. And I think that with our society right now, and especially with people our age or our generation, we want that instant gratification because immediately we could just Google something and then have the answer right in front of us. So it's learning how to trust and just let the journey unfold and but that's where the beauty is, and that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, and I think
Learn
the
to
biggest
trust.
thing has been just like along the way and like keeping me going is community and like connecting
Hmm.
to like-minded people like you and entrepreneurs
Yeah.
in the online space. And now that like COVID is kind of dissipated and we can go in person, like making those connections in person
Yes.
and having that support has been so important.
It is. It's so important, especially coming out of COVID. So I know going back in 2019, graduated from college, moved back home, got hit with COVID, and I didn't get a chance to start to rebuild any friendships or relationships or even make new friends that I after moving back home from college, where now it's like, oh, okay, I'm just starting to get out there and build that community here, but it feels like I just missed like 2 years of my life. But again, everything happens for a reason. It happened how it was supposed to happen. And if
Mhm.
COVID didn't happen, would the podcast even happen? Would our relationship even form?
Yeah.
So again, all in divine timing.
It is. It's kind of funny because I was starting to build my online presence in early
Mhm.
2020, like January 2020.
Yep,
And like I was starting to get in the online world. Who knew in a few months, like that was all we were gonna have?
exactly.
That was
It's
just,
true. It's
yeah.
so it's crazy. And to even look back, it doesn't even feel like COVID was over 2 years
It,
ago.
yeah. It
It's
kind of feels
it's
like it was a blur. Like, was that
right?
real?
Exactly. Like the things that because I was with my parents, my sister, and my grandma, all living in a
Oh my
small
goodness.
house, and just all five of us being stuck. I don't want to say stuck together, but it was
It was its own healing
exact
journey.
yes, there we go, those are the perfect words.
Yes,
But
I
I
feel
am
that.
very grateful for the time that we did spend together, and it really did bring us closer together at the end of the day.
I love that.
So when did you know you were ready to take the leap into coaching full time?
Honestly, after 2021, um, it's just like I finally decided and kind of like claimed that I know what I'm doing. I help women daily.
Hmm.
Yeah, like we said, whether I'm getting
Yep.
paid or not, like it is my mission for women to stand in their power, to own their gifts, to share their story, because by them doing that, they are helping someone out there. By
Yep.
them sharing their story, someone is connecting to it and it is helping someone else. So yeah, like I think 2021 was when I was finally ready. Like I felt like I had the tools, I have the testimonials, I have the community, and I was like I can't keep holding myself back,
Yep.
Like you have to decide and you have to trust that you'll figure it out along the way. So yeah, 2021 was really when I was fully ready to embrace this.
What tools did you have in your back pocket? And also, what did you do to learn how to trust your intuition?
The tools that I have, life coaching,
Hmm.
I have astrology is a really big thing for me that I
Yeah.
use and I lean on. Tarot is another one. But really, it's been my own life lessons and my own journey that's been the biggest thing that has like really helped me with my clients. And what was your other question?
How did you learn to trust your intuition?
Yes, that was the one. Okay.
That was it.
That has been something in the works since, I mean, 2019 was when I like kind of learned more about intuition
Hmm.
and how it's like really connected to our like psychic abilities that we can have. So I was like in 2019, I was like, I'm gonna become fully psychic and figure it out. But like it is really hard because you have to be so like grounded constantly
Yeah.
and really working and attuning your energy constantly. But 2020, I really worked with Kundalini and that
Hmm.
helped me tap into my intuition more. And then through tarot cards, that also really helped me tap into my intuition. And then just like a lot of weird things happen where I'll either sometimes I'll see like people's auras or sometimes in my head, I'll just get a download of like
Yep.
what astrology sign someone is. And then literally within 5 minutes, they'll confirm it. Like I don't ask. It just gets
Stop.
confirmed. I'm not kidding. It's
That's
so weird.
amazing.
And
That is
I
amazing.
think I have to be really like practicing meditating a
Yep.
lot and
And
to
in
really be in
tune.
tune. But it's fun. Like I definitely play with it a lot and like I'll get downloads and then yeah, it'll just be confirmed. And so
That's
just like trusting that and like remembering those are all just signs from like my angels or guides that hey, like you are tapped in. Trust the pings that you get. And for me, it's actually I get like my head will almost like it almost feels like I can feel the neurons like firing
Mhm.
off. Like it feels really good.
Yep.
And that's kind of when it's like a confirmation that like yes, like your intuition is right. Like listen to that. If it's something someone said and it like feels good in
Mhm.
my body, yeah, that's some
That's
of the
so
ways that I can like tap into my
I love
intuition.
it. So I get download like I'll meditate, I'll get messages, but I'll always get my main downloads when I'm working out, when I'm in that active type of
Yes.
meditation. And then I'm like, wait, I'm at the gym. So I feel so bad for my mom. And I say this all the time because I'm like, I gotta write this down. So I'll just like blow up her phone and I'll just like text her all the messages that I'm getting. And I was
Oh
like,
my
Mom,
God,
I'm
I
really
love
sorry.
that.
I'm like, Mom, I'm really sorry. And all she responds is, okay, KK. And I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm like, I just got to get this out. But it's always when I'm
Yeah,
at the gym and in that active
that's so
form of
funny because that's
meditation.
a lot of downloads will come to me when I'm working out too. And I am like most of the time I'll be like, I'll remember it. And then I get home, I'm like,
No,
dang it.
exactly. Just like, oh, should have wrote it down. So,
Yeah.
do you use spirituality within coaching and within your I don't know if like
Yeah.
protocols would be the right
Yeah. Yeah.
word.
Yeah. So when I'm on calls with clients, we do a lot of like building up their branding and how they're going to show up on social media and kind of like bouncing off ideas with each other. And I will get downloads and I'll share it with them.
Mhm.
And oftentimes I'm able to make kind of connections that they didn't see based on like my download. So
Mhm.
I think I bring it to them in a more simplified way. But yeah,
Okay.
I definitely will tap into my
Yep.
intuition, listen to my downloads, and share those with them if they can take what resonates and leave what doesn't.
And then do you teach them how to start to pay attention to their downloads, their intuition, or even astrology?
Yeah, so that's actually what I'm going to be teaching in the membership.
Very
It's
nice.
called Fully Expressed. So it's going to be like around astrology, but every month there's going to be two trainings, and it is really going to help them tap into their intuition and into their knowing. And we'll do a lot of meditations. I'm just going to throw all the spiritual tools at them
Yeah,
and teach them how to
that's
pick the ones that they like.
amazing. That is amazing. So, how did you come up with this idea?
Yeah, so it's something that has been like kind of brewing for a while. I knew I wanted to bring astrology. I knew I wanted a membership.
Hmm.
I wanted it to make it affordable, but I also wanted it to be more along the lines of coaching. And so I didn't want it just to be moon gatherings. I wanted to bring more of my other expertise, which is showing up authentically online. So it's to teach you how to build a community around
Very,
astrology.
very nice. I love that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So you mentioned you work with clients who are trying to find their soulmate client. Can you define what a soulmate client is?
Yes. So I think often in marketing and sales, we're just taught to, find a buyer. But
Hmm.
in this space, this like heart-led space, we don't want just any client who's not going to, I mean, for me personally, like someone who's very maybe like science oriented and they're
Hmm.
not really into spirituality, they're probably not going to vibe with me,
Yeah.
right? Like, so a soulmate client is going to be someone who sees my content, listens to what I'm posting, really feels it at a soul level. And so when we hop on our calls, like they're already open to my
Hmm.
messaging. It's someone who isn't just like coming and buying my stuff because they want the answer. They're really wanting to kind of connect with me as a person, and they want to learn the tools that I've used.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going
Exactly.
to be open to astrology. They're going to be open to tarot.
In that flow state.
Yes, yes. And like they're probably already using their intuition to be guided towards me.
Because their intuition led them to you.
Exactly. And they're listening to it.
Exactly.
Right?
They're here. They're listening to our conversation right now.
Yes, yes, yes.
So how do you help clients attract their soulmate client?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's through just being authentic. And we do a lot of workshopping around, who are they? What do they
Mm-hmm.
love? What lights them up? What do they feel their mission is here? Like, what is their mission here on Earth? Like, what are they here to do? What are their special gifts, their talents? And we kind of workshop that together so that then we can create content that shares that.
So for someone who is trying to find their soulmate client, whether it be for social media coaching, health coaching, what are some of the tools that you would recommend them to do?
Yeah, well, number one, I would reach out to your closest friends and family and ask them what they think you're really good at. That's an easy thing you can do right away. Number two, just journal all of the things, all of your accomplishments, all of the things that like you've gotten certifications in, what did you get degrees in, and just kind of see what is repetitively posted. Like for me, okay, I'll share part of my journey is when I was thinking about getting into life coaching. I was like, who am I to be like a life coach? And she was like, do people come to you with things? And around this time, I was posting about health and wellness constantly. And so that's what people knew me for. And they would just send me text messages and DMs and ask me all kinds of questions about health related things. So I was going through my notes around this time, and I had like a 3-page note and it was me helping someone with health. They had a question about like what to do for their health, and I had written 3 pages of what they should do and sent it over to them. And I was like, whoa, wait, I am like helping people. And I was pretty blown away by that. So when you kind of set the intention to find ways to confirm that you're in the right space, they're going to present themselves to you.
It's true. And all we have to do is really, again, just trust our intuition and continue to show up as our best self, as our authentic self, and we will attract the right person. And we have to be able to be aligned on a soul level with them.
Yeah, and I think as we tap in deeper to our intuition, we're able to kind of quiet the mind that wants to keep us safe, the mind that's saying like, maybe, no, you're not good at that. But really our mind's just like, this is scary, and wants us to stay safe. And so as you tap in deeper to your intuition, you can kind of ignore those little voices that are telling you no.
So what are some of the ways that you stay grounded and in order to continue to listen to your intuition?
Yeah, breath work is huge for me, and meditation is huge. But do you want to do a short, quick little breath work?
Yes,
I think that would be
do
so
it.
fun.
Yes,
Okay,
I would love
we'll just
to.
do it for like a minute. And it's going to be in through your nose for 4, out through your nose for 6.
Okay.
So get grounded, feet on the floor, get comfortable. Take a deep inhale right now, just tapping into this space. Exhale. And then we're going to go in for 4 into the nose, out for 6 out the nose. Ready? Out for 6. In for 4. Out for 6. And on the inhale, just getting grounded, present, breathing into your body. And on the exhale, just releasing anything that's not serving you in this moment. And then if you get lost at any point, just starting over, in for 4, out for 6. And last one, wherever you're at. In for 4, out for 6. And then take one big inhale in and hold it at the top, filling up your belly and your lungs. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and sigh, exhale through the mouth. Feel free to shake it out. Open your eyes when you're ready. And just notice how the energy around you have changed.
That was amazing. I feel so much more grounded, energized, and even though it's I guess like mid-afternoon, it's like the perfect little pick me up.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be long. Breathwork has been so huge for me. So if you are interested in looking into like healing, I highly recommend going to a breathwork session or finding someone who does breathwork to do a session with them. Profound.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. So I have a few more questions before we wrap up, but I think that was like a perfect little bonus to this podcast. So thank you for that. So what are
Yeah.
3 lifestyle changes that you would suggest others do in order to become aware of their life's purpose?
Number 1 is pay attention to pay attention to what you're good at and what people tell you you're good at. I know I've said that like multiple times throughout this,
I think it's
but
the common theme.
it is, yes. I think it's so important and it's such an easy way to awaken to your gifts. Number 2, I think just taking time every single morning to do something for you. So, whatever that is for you, whether that's like laying on your yoga mat and just meditating for 5 minutes, or maybe it's going for a morning walk, maybe you like to run, picking one thing to do every single morning and do it consistently. And it can change over time, but I highly recommend sticking to one thing at least for 30 days. It's just really like tapping into your own energy before you put yourself out into the world. And it's going to allow you to have downloads or be more aware of like what you're wanting out of your life. And then number 3, try things, try different things. Like don't be afraid to fail or suck at something. And when you do it and it's just like you don't like doing it, okay, cross it off the
Next one.
list.
Yep.
Yes, that's been huge.
Exactly. And it's so true. And our mornings are so powerful. It's really going to set us up for success and the tone for the day. So why not just take 5 minutes, 10 minutes for yourself, get grounded, get in that flow state, and just set yourself up for success and just do the things that you love.
Yeah, the morning routine for me was huge when like my life was total chaos. I still did my morning routine every day, and I truly believe that was what was allowed me to manifest moving halfway across the country.
That's amazing. Well, can you share all of your social media handles or where our audience can find you?
Yeah, so on Instagram, it's brittany.j.childress. And then my website is thecosmicself.com. And that's pretty much it. You can find me on Facebook through my Instagram. I'll keep it simple, but Instagram is going to be the best place to find out everything and all the details on what's going on.
Well, thank you so much. But before we go, I have 2 last questions that I ask every guest. So the first one is, what is the best piece of advice that you've ever been given and would like to share here?
Yeah, the best piece of advice I've ever been given is the only way to succeed is to fail over and over and over again.
It's true. Because we are learning different lessons, seeing what's working, what's not working. And by us doing so, we will be led to our purpose and allow us to unleash our fullest potential.
Yeah.
I love that. And the last question is, how do you define essence and what makes up your own essence?
Mm. I love this question. And like when you're saying essence, I'm just getting the visual of like almost like droppers coming from everywhere. And so like I feel like my essence is made up of my community, my spirit guides, my angels, and my like inner child.
I love that. That is so beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us today here on I Am Essence. I just loved having you, loved chatting more about your journey, and I can't wait to continue to see your own journey continue to unfold.
Thank you so much, Taylor, for having me. It was great talking with you. This was so fun.
Thank you everyone for listening in on this week's episode here at I Am Essence. Don't forget to listen in next Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform. And if you are listening in on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a review and we will see you next week.